Hello, everybody. It is Sharyn here from Content Sparks. If you don't know me already, I am the founder of Content Sparks and owner. And welcome to our anniversary sale for 2023. We've again done something a little bit different this year, and I'm going to go through that in a moment. I'll just flash up the URL so you know if you're watching this from somewhere other than, say, the sales page. I know some people will be watching this live and you may be watching it recorded. And if that's the case, firstly, if you're live, you can just drop in any questions in the comments. If you're watching it recorded and you have some questions that I haven't answered, you can also send in a question to our support desk, which is at support@contentsparks.com. So remember that, support@contentsparks.com, and the URL for the sales page is contentsparks.com/anniversary sale. So what I'm going to go through today is, of course, I'll show you the sales page and how that works. But I know one of the first things that happens is people get very overwhelmed by the number of things that are available. There are 20 different bestsellers. So these are courses that have been the most popular in the last couple years, and all of our stuff is evergreen. We don't deal with trending topics that come and go within a month. And all of these, so say you get it now, next year you'll still be able to teach it. You'd still want to go back and look through it, but that is why our focus is on evergreen content, so that you can always be going and adding things to your library. But there is that overwhelm with all of those different possibilities, and they all look great. Right? I was asked which one's my favorite, and I'm like, well, this one and this one and this one. Oh, it's really hard to pick. So I want to go through a few tips on exactly how you're going to pick, right? But first I want to show you the sale page itself so you can see how it works. It might be a little confusing. It's not the same as all of our other pages. So I'm going to open that up now. And you can see this is what the page looks like. Let me hide this. And again, if you have any questions, if you're watching this live, just pop them into the comments, okay? So this is what it looks like when you land on the page. It just says anniversary sale, 50% off bestsellers, and there are a few instructions. And all you need to do, and I'll show you this bonus as well a little bit later, but all you'll need to do is go through. You'll see there are 20 different ones. Most of them have this orange binder. That represents one of our big, what we call Blaze courses, the full course funnels. There are a couple smaller ones too, but you'll see there's mindset, coaching skills, story selling, social media master plan, that's like strategy stuff, services, packaging your services, digital marketing strategy, starting your own business. So that's more generic, any type of business. Sales funnels, very important for everyone. You can see it's hard to pick out, what's my favorite. Starting a freelance business. A lot of people want to do that as a side hustle. So if you've heard the term side hustle, that's very common. SEO strategy, creating a business growth plan. That's for existing businesses that want to really dig into creating a solid plan for growing. And as I go through, you can see there's a little tick box under each one. See, it's a little small, and it says add for, and then the full price is crossed out, and then the sale price is there. So you would just click that little box. You'll see a little 1 over here because it's added. You can only add one at a time. And then you can go and add others. There's one on virtual boot camps. This is also a favorite, using templates in your business. So really, that's all about productivity and templating everything, processes and sales pages and images and everything like that. A group coaching program, and these again are the most popular ones in the last couple of years. And here I mentioned there are 2 smaller ones in here. I can show you the difference on those. The main difference is that it doesn't come with the full funnel, so it doesn't have that full lead generation pack with a lead magnet and follow-up emails and stuff like that. So obviously the price reflects that, and there's a little bit less in the instructor materials too. So goal setting masterclass, think like a CEO, very important for small business owners and entrepreneurs, running 5-day challenges, building your audience using social media. This is really, really good also for people that don't have an audience. So things that if you don't have an audience, it's something you may want to get yourself. And basically you add all of those. Ooh, I have to add marketing in tough times because we're in tough times. And you'll see a total at the bottom, what the full price would be, what the discount is. And all you have to do is add to cart. All right, you'll get redirected to this page where there's a bunch of these upgrade packs that have sales page copy and module quizzes related to various courses. So just pick the ones that are related to the courses you're getting. It's not going to be that helpful for ones that you don't have. And then for anything you want, obviously you'll just add it to the cart. And then I'm making myself dizzy just looking at this. And then you'll just click on view cart, go to checkout, it'll all be there. You'll see this, that it's a bundle and what the total price is, but then all the individual ones are listed as well. And over on the right is your total. I think I had something in my cart already, which is added on. Yeah, I added the upgrade pack as well. So that would be the total. You just go to checkout, typical thing. You'll get delivery, confirmation email, all that stuff of typical shopping cart. If you're on mobile, this may look a little bit different. So the total may be underneath, the mobile view, tablet view, they're all going to be a little different. So that is what you're going to see on the sales page. If you're already on the sales page watching this as a replay, then you've seen it already. And if you want more information, you'll see that there's more underneath as well. Some instructions, stuff about the bonus, and then, the usual sales copy stuff and whatnot. So you can scroll through that, some FAQs if you want. And as you get through the bottom of the page, you can also click where it says, click here to browse and pick the courses you want. That'll pop you back up to the top. It's an anchor link, they're called, that'll put you back to a different spot on the page. Very, very helpful. All right, so that's a sales page. Ask some questions if you want. Now, let's get into how to actually pick what you should get from all of these. So I'm just going to go back to full screen here for a minute. Get back over here. And I want you to think of it in terms of 3 questions when you're looking at all the different topics. 3 key questions. One of them, the first one is for your audience, which topics do they want or need? And there's a little difference. You'll know that there are ones that they need. There are also ones that they want. So that's your first question. Your second question is, which topics do you feel comfortable teaching or sharing? So you don't have to be an expert in these, but you'll have some that you'll want to teach, like that's part of your realm of expertise, and some that you'll want to share because you know your audience wants to learn about it, but you don't have something prepared and you need to just give them something. So that's another way our customers use it. And the third question you need to ask yourself is, which things do you want to learn that maybe you'll teach later, maybe you won't, but the course is already set up as a full learning experience. So a lot of our customers also buy them to just put themselves through the course, follow all the materials. So remember those 3 questions. The first is what you know your audience wants or needs. All right. Now, if you're not sure about that, the way to start out is to think about what their goals are. What's the ideal outcome they want? All right. So say it's, they're pretty common, the outcomes that people want. It's typically to make more money. So it might be getting more sales. And there are a lot of things involved in that. It might be just to have more freedom, get out of their full-time job. You know your audience. If you don't, you can do a little research, join Facebook groups, communities, listen in, ask questions, see where they're really struggling and what their goals are. And then you can say, okay, well, they need, looking through the different courses, I know they need to build an email list. I know they need to, or maybe if they want a side hustle, they want to start a business or become a freelancer. But once they do that, they're going to need some other things like maybe the digital marketing strategy or building an audience. So think about all of those things you know they want, things you know they need, and then you can fit together and figure out which ones you need to get. Not create from scratch, but actually get it all ready and then put it together with your own spin on it that makes sense for your audience. All right. Remember, it's all white label. It's all brandable and editable. So the next question I had said was what you feel comfortable teaching and sharing, teaching or sharing. So look at the things that you want to be known for as an expert. You may not have all the expertise now, but all you have to do is be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the people that you're teaching, and they'll get the value from that. So think about that. And then, as I was saying also, hang on one sec. Sorry about that. I have noise in the background. So the other thing is the sharing part. So what will you feel comfortable just talking about? What will you feel comfortable sharing? A lot of our customers just set up resources that they send out periodically. It could be in a membership site, like, okay, here's your core signature course that you teach, and then here's a whole library of bonuses and training that you can have available that you may not feel as comfortable teaching, but you want to provide it so they're not going off somewhere else. So you can take portions out of different courses and mix them up. So that was the second question. Remember what your audience wants or needs, what you feel comfortable teaching or sharing. And then the third one was what you want to learn. So look at your own business. You might be looking at this page and saying, oh, I really, really want to learn about this whole thing with story selling. What is this about? I have no idea. And if you're not sure when you look at this, you can click on any of these little icons next to the title. So I'll click on that and it will open up that particular course's sales page in a separate tab. And then you can go through and read about it. We always have these overviews of each one of the modules so you can learn about what's in the course. Okay. And then don't add it to your cart from here, though. You have to add it from that anniversary sale page. All right. So you'd have to add it right from here and click on that box and then anything else and scroll down to the bottom. Now, if one just side note as I'm going through that, some people I know will get a couple things and want to come back. That's perfectly fine. You only need to make sure that you're doing it in one go. So I already added this thing to my cart, so I don't think it'll let me add it again. Let me see. Yeah, it only lets you add one to the cart at the time. So get whatever you want. If you're not sure, get one thing, check it out, then go back and get anything else that you want. All right. So that was that. Let me just move on. So those are the 3 questions for trying to figure out what to actually get. The next question you're going to have for yourself is, what should you teach first or sell first or share or whatever it is that you're planning to do? So there are a few things you want to think about there that are going to make it easy for you. The first thing is just what is easiest for you to talk about. So where's the topic? If you're looking through those topics and you scroll through and you say, okay, well, I can talk about digital marketing strategies till the cows come home. Or I can talk about starting a freelance business because I've done it myself and how that works. And that's a perfect one to get started with. So go through and look at some of those and say, okay, what do I feel most comfortable talking about? That would be something you could teach straight away. The next thing you want to think about is which things can you set up fastest? All right, so here's where people get stuck a lot. They see these great big courses with all this stuff in it, all this different content, student materials, instructor materials, lead generation, course books and action guides and slideshows. Where do you start? It seems like too much to set up. right? So unless you've done it before, it can be very overwhelming. So think about what will be quickest for you. It doesn't have to be a full course that you set up first. It could just be, say, one module of a course. Or even if you don't have that much of an audience yet, you could just take the lead magnet from a course, that opt-in report and slides, and maybe make it into a little report and video, or run it as a little live stream. Set that up as a lead magnet with some follow-up emails, and start sharing that everywhere so that you can start building your audience and connecting with them. And then when you're ready to sell the course, it's easy. You know, people know you already, they trust you, they've been listening to you, you've been sharing value and building a relationship with them. And then it's very, very easy to just say to them, okay, now I have this course I'm just releasing that's going to go even deeper in. So if you don't have that much of an audience, that's one place to start as well. But always look at what's easiest, quickest that you can set up. And maybe it'll take you a little longer the first time, but you'll get faster and faster at that as well. And the other thing is, what is most in demand? So what is your audience looking for? So you may think that they need this thing, like how to create your ideal customer profile, which is a different course. You may think they need that first, but they want something else. So you need to think about which things are going to bring them in. You can always add in the things you think you know they need, but position it as the things they want. So the easiest way to do that is to ask them, right? So if you have an audience already, go ahead and ask them. Maybe give them a choice of 3 different things and say, okay, which one do you want most? You know, prioritize. Which ones do you want first? Vote on it. Send out a survey, talk to some people. If you don't have immediate access to your audience, like you haven't built a good email list, you can also go into relevant Facebook groups, communities. It'll take you a little bit longer. You'll have to get into conversations. This is where the work is involved. Your work isn't in creating the courses, because we've created them. Your job is to understand your audience and give them what they need and want, and help them get to their goals as well. So figure out what their goals are, figure out where they are online, and get talking to them. And that's going to help you figure out also which things you should sell and teach first. And if you already have something like a membership site, then it's a much easier decision, because you can just ask people and you can just gradually add things in as you go along. So start small, start with something that's easiest for you, quickest for you, depending on where you are in your whole business journey and creating courses and membership sites and things like that, and take it from there. What's easiest, what's quickest, what you're most comfortable with, what people want. All right. And remember, you can ask questions if you're watching live right in here, or you can also send in questions to support@contentsparks.com. But I'll try and go through everything as we're going through here as a quick overview. So let's see. I have some notes here I'm looking at. Okay, so this was another thing you need to think about when you're looking at all the different courses and which ones you want to use, which ones you want to teach. Look at whether you already have a funnel set up. And hopefully you can still hear me. I'm getting a little bit of a Wi-Fi warning. Okay. Look at whether you already have a funnel. Hopefully you do. Not everyone does, so don't feel badly if you don't. And think about where it would fit into your funnel. So if you already have some sort of lead magnet, gift, freebie you're giving people to build your email list, what do you have already that's coming next in there? Do you have anything to sell? If not, which things can you fit in? And you can start with something low ticket. That's the easiest thing. And we do, one of the courses in here in the sale is this supercharged sales funnels. So if you're not clear on sales funnels, that's already an example of something where you might want to get the course and learn it yourself. And then once you've set up your own first sales funnel, you're ready to show other people how to do it. You're ready to teach people how to do it. And it's a highly popular topic. And all of these are really popular. That's why we put in these bestsellers. All right, so think about what funnel you have, whether you need to set one up, what you can add into it. Make sure you have something low ticket as well to make it easy for people if you're going to sell any of the courses at a higher price. All right, and we do have a whole blog post on pricing with a course pricing workbook that I shared, I think last weekend or the weekend before. I'm not sure. We usually share a new blog post every weekend, a new or an updated one. So think about that. Look at low ticket. When I go into an example, I'll show you what you can do for a low ticket one. All right, so funnels as well. So let's see, what did I say? I said what is quickest, what's easiest, what's quickest, what's most in demand, and what fits into a funnel or what you can create a funnel from. Those are the other things. So I think I've covered all of those of what to get. Just to recap again, think about what your audience wants or needs. Think about what topics you feel comfortable teaching or sharing, and what topics you want to learn and then maybe teach later. So that's how you pick what to get. And then it's what's easiest for you to talk about if you're going to be teaching it live, what's quickest for you to set up, what your people are actually looking for, right? So what's in demand, that's something you'd want to do first because it's easiest to sell. And then do you have a funnel that you need to build up or create from scratch? So those are the key things to be thinking about. Now, one of the biggest questions, of course, is what is in the bonus. So before I show you any examples in here of what one of these big courses looks like and one of those smaller ones, there's the bonus. And it's a really big bonus that's going to really help you with selling your courses. So let me pop over to that. So this is what everyone gets if they buy even one thing in the sale, okay? It is a 30-day marketing action journal. And this is for your personal use. It doesn't come with private label rights, but it's a 46-page PDF that you can print off, and it has daily tasks for selling your course in that first month that you put it up for sale. So I'll show you it. There's a little how to use, and again, you can just print it off so you can check things off and take notes. The point is to choose 1 to 3 actions to market your course and do them daily. And underneath each, there's a place where you can note which one you did and how you feel about it. And then every 5 days, you look back, you see what's working for you. And that way you know what to keep doing. Because it's all about consistency. When it comes to selling your courses, you're not going to just put up a sales page and maybe send out an email or 2, maybe post a couple things on social media and expect sales to come in. It's not the way it works. And that's where most people, when they're trying to build a business, get really frustrated and just give up because they're not willing or just don't realize that they have to keep at it. They have to be persistent and consistent and keep sending things out and posting and sharing and find out what works for you. So again, we've created the courses. You can set those up and make sure you customize it to your audience, but then you're putting in the effort for the marketing. We can't do that for you. I'm sorry, I wish I could. But that's the instructions. And then you'll see day 1. So for instance, day 1, post an announcement about your course on Facebook, including a link to your course page. That's a simple thing. Tweet about it and its benefits with a hashtag. Share a short video. You don't have to do all of these. You can just pick one. As you go back, you can add to it. You know, you're going to do this sort of thing month after month. So creating a short video, introducing the course on Instagram. It doesn't have to be Instagram if that's not your thing. It could be on Facebook. It can be on LinkedIn. Depends where your audience is. TikTok. I don't use TikTok, so I can't advise you there. but always have a call to action to visit your website. Now, one note on here, I know this journal, the Marketing Action Journal, is set up and talks about selling your course. Again, if you don't have an audience at all yet, you could use the same tactics for building your list, for building that audience. So then you take a portion from one of the courses, make it into a lead magnet, some follow-up emails, and use all of these, sharing a link to your opt-in page instead of to your course. And then you'll do the other work later to sell the course. So think of this in both ways. Just replace a opt-in page or a lead magnet with, or a freebie or gift, whatever you want to call it. And let's see what day 2 is. Day 2 is doing a LinkedIn post, sharing a photo of your course on Instagram, running a Facebook ad. That's a little more complicated. Don't try that unless you've done it before. So that's where you might cross that one out if it's not something you've done. If you have done it, then you can quickly set up an ad and start running that to your audience, to your custom audience. Tweeting a testimonial from a satisfied customer. So if it doesn't have to be, this says customer who's taken your course. So if you do something like pre-selling, which is a more advanced tactic for a lot of people, you can get some testimonials from students, from customers right away. But you can also take a testimonial from someone who has taken another course from you before, or who's worked with you before, say if you do coaching, and share that as something that to just show your credibility, and tweet that out, and then link over to the course as well. I mentioned pre-selling. We will be sharing a new blog post on all the details of how to do pre-selling. I think it's Saturday. All right, so look out for that. I'll share a preview of the course on Instagram stories. There's a lot of Instagram because a lot of people, it's very popular right now, but LinkedIn also for any of these things, because all the courses are business topics. So those are the typical places, that and Twitter as well. The LinkedIn groups, you want to get into discussions. And the key here, while there's tasks every single day, the key is to just keep doing something every single day. And even if you go into one of these days and you say, I don't really like any of these, you can go back to a previous day and decide you're going to do that. And underneath, note to say, I did this, I tweeted a testimonial, I got 3 people who retweeted it, or X number of likes, or 0, and therefore maybe I won't do it so much and I'll share it somewhere else. LinkedIn groups, which groups did you join in? What discussion looked most interesting? So go through all of these. And again, I said after every 5 days, you'll see there's a place to review. What activity did I like best? What got the most engagement? Which action generated the most messages? Review it. And then when you get into, you can take some notes on next steps, which things you want to do again. And then you get into the next days, which have even more ideas. So you're going to get 30 days of different ideas in here. That's tons and tons. No shortage of marketing tactics in here at all. And it's for your personal use. You can use it over and over again. So that is the bonus that's coming with the sale. That will help you with building your audience and getting more sales of any courses that you sell. And you can reuse this for other things too. It's just all sorts of marketing tactics you could use for selling anything. So I promised you also, we're sort of limited on time, but I promised you also that I would show inside a couple of the courses. So I'm going to just go back over, let's see, go over to the sale page. And there's a whole bunch on here, so it was really hard to decide which ones to show you. So I decided that I would show you first as an example of one of our what we call so this is an example of what we call one of our full course funnels, sales funnels. In our shop, in that drop down, you'll see them here, full courses with sales funnel that we also call Blaze packages. You'll know them because they have this orange binder and this flame in here. And these are our most popular courses and what we focus on creating. This is our strongest area of expertise. We have a big team of instructional designers and writers, developers who put these together and design the whole learning program. So you'll see there's different modules and lessons. Not every course has the same number of modules and lessons. We design them and write them based on what makes sense for the topic. So you might see one module that has 3 different lessons in it, another one with 2, or maybe only 1. So there's a variety here, and then finally a next steps. And there's a GIF with some previews, but this section on the page is where you can see exactly what is in the course. So in this one, Mindset Mastery, you'll always get a course book and action guide. There might be some extra assessments or worksheets depending on the topic. Again, we create those based on what makes sense for the student, the learner. What do they actually need? So in this one, because it covers different types of mindset, there's an assessment on growth versus fixed mindset. There's abundance versus scarcity, entrepreneurial skills checklist, a few different extra things that go on top of the action guide. They're in addition to the action guide. And then we always have this summary cheat sheet, which I can show you. That's an outline, high level outline of the course, so people can use it as their cheat sheet, their reminder. It also helps you with getting an overview of the course. So that's really helpful as well. There's some graphics also. So that's in the student materials in these big packages. The instructor materials, you're going to get your slideshow. So that's what you can use for teaching the course live or recorded video. And there's a lot of slides, but that's because they cover the whole course. So they're broken up into different modules. It's one slideshow and then you break it up. Again, I'll show you. Speaker notes, that's to guide you. They're not something you want to read ever because you want to sound like yourself and like you're talking like a real person, even if there's some ums and ahs, and adding your own examples. But the notes are in there to remind you. And they are pulled from the course book. And then there's an evaluation form for getting feedback, a research sources list. This is something a lot of people don't realize is in there, but it's a whole bunch of links where you can learn more about the topic. There are research sources that we used as well. And then some follow-up emails to the course so that when the course is done, you can actually follow up with your students a bit. And there's some other instructions too. And then the final thing, and this is the thing that really differentiates one of our smaller courses with these big packages, is lead generation materials. This is the funnel part. So there's what a lot of people call an opt-in report. That's a term we use. That's your lead magnet and your gift or your freebie for building your list. So people give you their email so they can get this. You do not have to use it as a report. People like to have videos or slides or worksheets. So we do give you also that in a slideshow and also this cheat sheet outline version so that you can do it in different ways. Follow-up emails, those are the things you set up in your autoresponder where you deliver the freebie, you follow up and nurture them with some additional tips and information, and then you tell them about your course or something else that's related. And then there are also some blog posts that you can customize and put on your blog or use for other purposes like a script for a live stream or additional email content. Remember always, you don't have to use things as is. But the blog posts are there. There's another infographic that pulls out tips from the opt-in report. And there's also social media posts that you'll see in the end. It says cheat sheet version of the opt-in report, pre-written social media posts, and more. So that's a big Blaze package. Let me show you actually inside this one. This is a really popular one with everyone. Business people, entrepreneurs, people in all walks of life. So I'm going to open up the folder for that. And I mentioned first the student materials. So you'll see this again in every one of our Blaze packages those full courses with sales funnels, student, instructor, and lead generation materials. And the student materials will always have this course book, action guide with maybe some other worksheets, that cheat sheet outline, some graphics, and an overview infographic. So the course book looks like this, just opening it up. It's in Word. There's a full table of contents, and you'll see all the content. We use Microsoft. So there's this smart art in here, but we give you these in a separate file also. So if you want to change them and replace them, you could just delete them if you want to, because the content is always in text as well. So you could just put in a stock image from Unsplash, say. But it's there for a little bit more color. And then there's action steps at the end of each module. So that's what a course book looks like. This is what you would edit, add your URL, your branding styles, whatever you want to add, different images, and then convert into a PDF for your students. And then the next part is the action guide. So at the end of each module, I said there's an action guide, and this particular course has some worksheets also. So I'm going to open up the action guide. And you can see the table of contents matches. You, like everything else, there's a place for your logo, and you add your own styles and URL. And then you'll see that there are places for the students to fill in answers to all the questions in the action steps in the main course book. So these, if you're just using slides, which I'll show you in a second, you can just send people over to this action guide. But again, you'd edit it, add your branding, and then convert it to either one PDF that people can download for the whole course, or you can break it up and just give them their section for whatever lesson goes with that video or live or however you're teaching it. All right, it can be, a lot of people just do these as recorded videos and set them up on a platform like Zenler or Teachable. So that is what the action guide looks like. And I said that this one had some other worksheets as well. So let's see what we have here. All right, this one has an assessment that is actually in Excel. So you would need to add your branding, but people would just rate it, and then it automatically adds up and gives a key at the bottom here for what their rating is. We don't have as many of those, but this one's pretty cool. It's a good one where it makes sense. We did the same thing for abundance versus scarcity in this particular course. Again, people just fill it in. So you need to give it to them as either in an Excel spreadsheet that is read-only. I think it has to be read-only. Or you could try uploading it to Google Sheets as well and do it that way. Or recreate it if you want. Anything you want. And then the other thing that's in here is the entrepreneur skills checklist. So this is a simple checklist for people to see whether they have the traits and the mindset of an entrepreneur, because that's one of the mindsets covered in this course. So again, your courses, when you get one of these, will always have an action guide, and they might have some of these extra sheets, these extra worksheets as well. So that's in the student materials course book, action guide, and the cheat sheet I want to show you, because people really love these, is that high-level outline. See how it just has bullet points? So if somebody's watched your video, say, on growth versus fixed mindset, what's your default? And they don't want to go back and watch the whole video. They don't want to plow through a transcript or course book. They just want to see what were the key points that were covered. You give them a PDF of this cheat sheet, and you can just break it up once you've branded it and put one underneath each video for them to download in your course platform. Any good course platform is going to have the ability to upload a video and upload PDFs that people can then download. PDFs of worksheets, action guide, cheat sheet. That is your absolute simplest model for teaching one of these courses. Slideshows as videos, action guide and worksheets with preferably this as well. So they have, you don't then need to edit the whole course book right away. If you want to just deliver the course quickly, you can use the cheat sheet. And let's see, what else do I want to show you in here? I told you to give you the graphics separately and an overview infographics. I'm not going to go into those, but let me show you what slideshow. So you can see there's a lot of stuff in here in these big packages. The main thing is this slideshow. So the mindset slideshow looks like, put it over onto the right screen for you. It looks like this. So you'll see Mindset Mastery, place for your logo, and notes underneath to guide you. And there's slides that tell you which module or lesson you're in as well. You can edit these however you want, add a theme to them, color, or just keep them really simple. The key here is you don't want to overload them. And we've been putting less and less on our slides anyway. But we use that smart art. You can replace it, change the design, anything you want with these. But add your branding, make any edits that you want, and then you can break them up and record them as separate videos. Or you can just have the whole slide presentation and record one section at a time. What you don't want to do is record the whole thing. Like, you don't want to have 2 hours of video and then you made one mistake and you have to redo the whole thing. And you would never give someone that long a video to watch. Your audience, more than likely, is busy and they don't have time to watch that much stuff. And it's a lot to take in at once too. So give them a little bit of time so they can absorb it. They can do their action steps, think about it. Maybe you can do a cute live Q&A in between, or once a week where they can ask questions. Depending on what the topic is, you can do it every day and then do the next video. So for instance, on this one, we've got the beginning one that's just an introduction. You can go on camera, welcome people to the course, and then go through the slides and then tell them what their action steps are. So that would be in your welcome section. Then you go into module 1, growth mindset. Say, okay, there are 3 different lessons in this. We're going to start with lesson 1. So give them that little introduction to the module, and then one video on lesson 1, growth versus fixed mindset. What's your default? What's it about? Go through all the details, and you're just recording this one video showing the slides. Plenty enough in here. And then you get to the end, action steps. Okay, here's what you need to do next. Here's where your worksheet is or your action guide. Look at this first lesson. Go ahead and do that. And then when you're done, come back and watch the next video. So those are the instructions you want to give people right at the end. And you can go back on camera for that as well. And then you'd record the next one. Maybe go on camera from the beginning, talk about it, and then finish. So that's how you need to use these slides. You can do it live again, but a lot of people like to do it as recorded just because, it's there, evergreen. It's great to have that kind of passive stream of income. If you haven't taught any before live and you've only done videos, then this is take the chance, step out of your comfort zone a little and take the chance and do some of it live. And you'll get some really good feedback when you do it live. You get to hear what people's questions are. So let me close that. And what else would you like to see? So that's all. That's the main thing in the instructor materials. Like I said, there's an implementation guide. There's an evaluation form you can send to people. That looks like this. Just opening that up for a second. And this is something you can put into a form like a Google form and get people to give you feedback on the course. Going through, let's look some more. Follow-up emails. So follow-up emails are, like I said earlier, emails you can send to people after they finish the course. So if you're setting up your course as an online one with recorded videos, say in a new Zenler platform or Teachable, then set up daily emails or whatever the drip is that point them to each module where your recorded videos are, and then afterwards keep up that relationship by sending some of these other videos, these other emails as well. All right. And then I mentioned research sources. So that's going to be a list of different links where you can learn more. And this one has quite a lot because it's covering different types of mindset. So that's going to help you with teaching and adding your own insights, just learning more about it. Now, the last thing I want to show you in here, and then I'm going to wrap up, is the lead generation materials. So the lead generation materials, this again is the big difference between one of our full courses with sales funnels, those orange binder ones, and the smaller ones, like the couple in the anniversary sale that have that blue sort of hardback look of a book. Those won't come with this whole section of all of this. It doesn't come with some of the things in the instructor materials, but it does have the slideshows. It doesn't have the funnel. So you'll see just some social media posts to help you, whereas this has that opt-in report, cheat sheet, slideshow, emails, blog posts, infographics, social media posts. And an opt-in report for something like this, you'll see is set up the same way as our course book, but shorter. And it's also set up so it's usually something you could deliver as a challenge as well. And a lot of them we have converted into challenges where we've already made it into emails. But for here, I'll just show you this, that it's broken up, and each one also has next steps. So you're not just giving them a report to read, you're giving them some sort of mini guide, or almost, it could be set up as a mini course, and people do love mini courses too. Because there's 5 of them, you can take this and do it in a similar way, have a call to action at the end, and then you can use the slides that we give you, that's the opt-in slideshow, and create this as a mini course, and that can be your lead magnet. And you can use the emails and to follow up with people, and then use the blog posts and social media posts to drive traffic to your opt-in page. And if you need text for your sales page, and that's, you would drive people to your sales page from this, look at the upgrade packs that I mentioned. I can show you that quickly too, but those are on the upsell suggestions page after you add anything from the anniversary sale. So 5 mindsets, you've got all these slides in here, make it into a mini course or just record it as a video. But I love that because there's next steps in each one, it just works out really well as something actionable, and people more than ever want something actionable. They don't want something just to read, even if it's self-study. All right, so that is everything there. I think I've covered most. I just mentioned that once you add something to your cart, go back to the anniversary sale, and the URL again for that is contentsparks.com/anniversary sale 2023. So if you're watching that live, again, that's the page to go to. If you're watching this recorded, you're either just click on there, or I'll try and add this to the sales page also, the main sales page. So you'll grab something, and I'm on the wrong page here. All right, multiple monitors. And then you'll go down, you'll add anything else you want, and you'll go down, and it may not work because I already added something to the cart. Yeah, it already added. So I have to go to my cart, and I have to clear my cart because it only lets you buy 1 of anything. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to that anniversary sale page, and I'll add a couple things in, and that way you can see the upsell page. So here are these 2 smaller ones in here. Remember, these are our best sellers, so that's how I picked them. I picked out the ones that have been most popular. So then you land on this page, and these are all upgrade packs that go with most of those courses. on the page. So they have module quizzes. Those are things you can add at the end of each module, say in an online course platform, to set them up as quizzes. It just creates a little more interaction. Or you can even use them in like a Q&A or a live stream, something to get more interaction. And then there's fill in the blank sales copy as well. So you won't be starting from scratch with a sales page for your courses. So these are really helpful too. And you can add any of those to your cart and then go down and, or at the top, and just go to checkout. All right. So that's everything. I have to wrap up because I have another call in a moment. So I will definitely send out this replay. Again, that is the URL, and this is the page that you're going to land on. And I will look out for questions from anyone. If you're watching on Facebook, just tag me in the comments for the questions. If you aren't on Facebook or you want to watch it somewhere else or ask questions from the sales page, send it in to support@contentsparks.com. And that's everything. So that's the anniversary sale. Definitely anything you buy, if you buy one thing, you will get an email with that bonus 30-day marketing action journal, which is just priceless on its own. It's almost worth getting something just to get that journal. So if there's something you don't have, you know you want it, go for it now, because that journal isn't for sale. It's not something we give away any other time, and it's brand new, so you won't see it elsewhere. All right, and that is a wrap. And please, I will look out for any questions at all. And happy shopping at the anniversary sale. Enjoy. Talk soon.